let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go. Yeah, let's get going. Let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah, help me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give your heart to Jesus. Let him take control. Just sit and worship. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret enemies. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if you say you will continue to be a zogo, if you say you will continue to be a prostitute, if you say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If you say your need is borrow, some go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny Ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go, man.
Yeah. Mighty blow. Holla. Nobody do it like you do it, you a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Genesis and they plenty in this new world. Read the power every day, now while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make your blessing overflow. To be the best and money rest, you gotta pray more. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood, now while I'm giving praises. Yes. I gotta dance that David dance, they think I'm getting crazy. But love is how you make it, brother, may not be here. Say every time I sing, I'm on my knees, begging God for mercy. Thank you for your love, blessing, and forgiveness. You solved my problem, Lord. You took me from the wilderness. Now only you can keep my struggle when I'm really stressed. So my papa bless me, then my enemy they get invest. No matter what the problem is, man, just let it go. Your delay is not your denial. Everybody know. Just keep on trusting in Jehovah. He will give you more. He took me from the grass. He can take you from the rock and roll. Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Your people are suffering, lying in the hospital, suffering from all kinds of sickness, Lord. Lord, help them. That sickness that is bothering you, I say, let it go. The barrenness, pack your load and go. Living the life of joblessness. Let it go. I say you spirit of suppression. Let it go. Spirit of denial, spirit of depression. Let it go, man. Oh, I'm tired. Pack your load and go. If you're picking, take your chemo. Let it go. Your best friend, take your husband. Let it go. If your wife said we are not compatible, let it go. Your husband say you not man tapping. Just let it go. If someone killed for you before, yeah, they kill your mother and they kill your father. They kill your wife and make your children homeless. Oh yeah, they kill your husband, make your children fatherless. Let it go, let it go. Mama, let it go, yeah. Papa, let it go. It is painful, let it go. You borrow someone your money. Oh, mama, they don't want to pay. You have become a boo-boo man. Your best friend is now your secret enemies. Your mother-in-law don't even want to see you. At your job side, they call you good for nothing. I say in your family, they call you useless. But one day, Jesus will make you useful. So let it go, 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 go. For how long will you hold? How long will you hold? You've been holding on for too long now. You are holding on and making Jesus to run no.
Welcome.
So let it go. It is painful, let it go.
LPR-TV, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing this beautiful Friday evening with us. Fred Dennis is in the house with Julius King, of course, Etta James C. Bly from Hartford, Connecticut. Thank you so much for your commitment. Abraham Bangood, and of course, Joseph Hennant. OG Bank, Wilson Boyd. Etta Bly, thank you so much. And our own former national president of the Grand United Association, Fred Talu Graham. Good evening and welcome on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Thank you so much for your time this evening here. I'm Alfonso Zayansot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. That is ongoing, and we are here to be taught from the Empire State. Kwame, and not forgetting Fixarios, Lipa, Duet, and of course, Mr. Jackson, right here from the Liberal State, and Aliyu Samba. One of the guys, he's, I don't know which party Aliyu belongs to now, but I know he's supporting some kind of party, no matter why it is. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So folks in Radio Land, just do us a favor, hit the share button, whatever the best way you can to invite someone at the program, to the program here this evening. I'm Alfonso Z, and so it's 8:07 Eastern Standard Time, right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. I'm Alfonso Zayansot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. This is today is Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. We're gonna keep it a little bit light, proportional as well. I don't care how we are tired, exhausted. We have to keep this narrative, this conversation going for the good of our country, and so that each and every one can be part of the conversation. And so we will intend to open the microphone here as soon as the phone lines to make sure that we have you participate here. The search is on, all eyes on the opposition's Alternative National Congress, or CPP, as to coin themselves, with the new collaboration in search of a VP. While all of these conversations, one who was turned down seems to be the center of gravity of the politics now, because in politics you have to be very strategic. It's not all about just picking. You got to, especially if you've been in the race before, you have to look at places where you sleep and you see to mend those old fences. You got to let things go. If you keep everything in your chest, rest assured, like Brahman say, what people win you. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for sharing your Friday with us. If you intend to join this conversation here this evening, we can also bring you on here. We tend, and this is the traditions of this network here, not to leave this conversation, not the politicians to be the deciders of our fate. We must also help to drive this agenda, because if it is left with them, trust me, they will do it any kind of way they can to let it go, to slide. So we must have a greater impact. We must question them. We must question. We must put fingers in their esophagus to get all of the demanding answers. Because if they are elected and they are gone Capitol Hill or in the Oval Office tomorrow, everywhere, every society, be it here, some ties will be cut off. All these people that are yelling, shouting, and doing everything they can, some of them, I guarantee you, they will be left by the wayside. Because at certain point, at certain time in life, in society, when you reach that point, when you reach that zenith, your way of doing things, your way of talking, and some of those people who were nowhere around, they will have to come, because they have to incorporate people that knows the system that will help them to drive. So I wouldn't be surprised, people that are screaming and yelling all over the place here, sooner or later they will come back here. Oh, all the things I did, they didn't call me, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. But everybody going to enter the kingdoms of heaven. The race is not to the swift, but he who endures to the end. So you got to be careful. Okay, let's do a little bit spin here. According to France 24, the Mali junta to hold a referendum on new constitutions in June. That's the danger. When there is a military junta in any country, first thing first, the constitutions will be hated, because the military traditionally use or the runs on decrees, and as military style of government, the constitutions is compromised, the constitutions is suspended, and the runs on the uniform. So now we are hearing, with all of the noise and conversation out there, the military now, the junta, will be holding that a referendum in June. We don't know what's going to be there. Who doesn't want to be in power? And so when I listen, 1 year people desperate for, who not desperate to live a good life? What is important is what you bring into the table, the authenticity, your ability to what you can do, what you can handle, to what are you able to make tough decisions. And that's one of the challenges in being a leader. Making tough decisions that even your party and even some of your followers will slam you, will bash you for that. But you must be able to make those decisions that stand tall for the good of the country. I am Alfonso Zian, so our man Kepta is in the building from the Constitution. You always complain, the link is out there, so if you don't, please check it. Thank you so much. Truck on Celebrate, thank you so much. Teresa G. White, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. And of course, our own lover boy from the land of Philadelphia. Good evening and welcome to the show. Sooner or later, the guys, hopefully the analysts are going to be here. Even if they are not here, I'm okay. The liberal, I think this guy, he's kind of hanging out with the ANC, Amos George. And for whatever reason, they try to put these pieces together, but it's still not working out. Amos George, he's a guy from the extreme, but with a extreme voice. He's one of the guy on this network here. He doesn't let anything go. He always firing back. I don't know why the liberal always hanging out with him. Orita, Gay, thank you. Good evening. Welcome. And North Dakota. Oh, okay. Here comes my man, Joseph Bena. But sometimes he kind of like slam me. Yeah, that's okay. We also too must be held accountable for things that we say, things that we do. That's why it pains me so much now. What is happening within the airspace, in the cyberspace, in the news industry, the conversation that is being kept, the distractions, the political satire that is ongoing. People, we are not doing the public good. For this reason, it is why it is. We should be focusing on the issue. We have Ambassador Baika who has already made a pick, but they are going back to things that doesn't make no sense in my own view, in my own analysis. That will not put no bread on the table. But for us to focus on the policies of these people, the pick of these people, yes, we can go back to their track record because some of them been in government before, and there is a need that we visit their back, their past, so that we know how decision they're going to be making. Well, one of our senior analysts here, she support the candidacy of Ambassador Joseph Numa Boykai. Right now, okay, that's okay. Right now, he's in the fries. ANC, CPP, Elizana Cummins, and such. I land the ball one fronting net. They're throwing it in, I don't know, what's the river or facing Grand Basso, carrying one to Bon County, all the catfish, all those big tilapia and all of them all now. But let's get the program going. Good evening. So we're going to open the microphone here, some of the things. And you can distribute us as well, because some things that we're supposed to be talking, we are not talking it. Bring us to those points. Bring us to baseline. Let's have these conversations. I am Alfonso Zienso. Welcome to the show. The clock is eating. The momentum is building. But who really has the momentum? Is it the ruling establishment? Is it Joseph Boyka? How is the CPP/ANC Liberty Party? What's to the show and becomes the center of conversation here? Let me bring in Koto Jalabalayans. Is a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio based in Garden City of New Jersey. Let's have a conversation here. Okay. Good evening. Welcome, madam. How are you today? Happy Good Friday. Dress doesn't look like a Friday dress. Is there something in the making this Friday evening as we approach the weekend? Something like that. Good evening. Welcome.
TGIF.
TGIF.
Good evening, Mr. So, and good evening to our people in cyberspace. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm glad to be here again discussing the issue of Liberia.
Discussing.
Yeah, happy and thank God, TGIF.
You're smiling a lot this evening. Right. It look like something good is happening in your camp, or what? Is the ambassador? Is he really in the driving seat? The smiling is a lot. I learned that this should be hitting the field and all of that. What's happening? What's next now? What should the ambassador be doing? Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka. I get the audio here will be playing. There was some sort of interview held back by Nount, the running mate of Ambassador Boyka, and that was quite fascinating. His engagement with the media. But from time to time, I think he's very, very much, he knows how to dance with the media. I mean, if I say dance, his language, his tone, very seasoned, and he seems to be equipped. I'm wondering, based on all of these things, the ambassador, because you need to have somebody who will really, really will do you good. And the ambassador the last time around, he didn't do that well in Nima, and you cannot rule out Nima. So he does need somebody that's going to push his line here. Tell us here a little bit. I know it might not be the official happening, but what are the Unity Party? What is really happening right now? What is the concentration? We're hearing Kanga trying to meet with the UPP executive. What is still happening? What is still undone? you think?
Well, thank you, Mr. So. I see people kind of like confused over the situation of the VP pick. I know a lot of people stay in trance because their expectation was different. They expected some big confusion coming in the camp. But again, we just want to tell them that this is nothing about confusion in the camp. Sometimes my choice was not picked, but that didn't make it anything, that has spoiled the fact that former VP chose the person that he wants to work with. And for now that I have been following the trend of Jeremiah Kuhn, as a matter of fact, I have been going from one, interview to another to actually follow some of his legislatures, engagement that he had been having, and to see where some of the contributions that he had been making in our political arena since he been in politics for 3 terms now, as we can call it. And he said in one of the recordings that he's not just one of those that just come out to just talk, but he goes behind the scene and have things done. And for me, I see that that's one of the things I want to see in a candidate, because some people just come talk, but not implementing what they talk, but actually going behind the scene to make things done. That's one of the most important things that an elector or a leader can do. And I thought that was actually good, and I still trying to check, because not only the VP is lighting, and I just say, oh yes, I am 100% I with it, even though I'm going along with it, but not just because he did it, and I just say 100% yes, I go on with it. Okay,
Did I,
so
did
those
I
are
hear
some of the
you?
things. Uh,
Well, we don't like to leave our people in suspense. Did I hear you say your choice was in pick? There was somebody that you personally, as a librarian, who supported like,
yes,
he's not.
I don't bite my tongue or bite my teeth to things. My Kennedy was Yomli Kanga. Okay, but
Young.
I know where my own fault come from. That's where I'm flexible when it comes to making decision, because I like I said the other day, was that I try to analyze on what is the possible danger of the closeness of peace, then the closeness of not being peaceful. And based on that, because of the instability of the Liberty Party, I was kind of like, hinking, sitting on the fence, because I was afraid that the way things were going, that it would have been kind of, a little critical. So that's why I am not that hurt, because I know that there were factors that led to my candidate not be accepted. But I'm fine with the candidate that the former VP have chosen. So far, the only thing, again, I hear they say, man will not we web, and some unnecessary comments for now, until it can be proven that he is not capable of playing the leadership role. Then of course I can agree with them. But for now, it is acceptable to me, because actually it's the prerogative of the VP to work along with who he feels comfortable with. I would have done the same thing, and that power is invested in him to take that decision. So we accept it, because in fact, when it comes to decision making, he will be sometimes left with taking a decision as a firm decision that he has to stand by. So I think that
So,
I'm going to be.
yeah, name Taylor Defonso, good evening, welcome. And of course, one of the Liberian best gospel artists, K Praise, is in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, hanging out with us here this evening. I've been saying some of your great songs, doing an extraordinary job, doing another soul winning. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. So, and I think he did pull us kind of surprise, because And that's part of what leadership is all about. Sometimes you make some choices, you make some decision, you will alienate your own base. But it just shows that when you are a president, you must be able to take some tough decision. Since the nomination, do you think this name Jeremiah Cohn, do you think he has elevated his chances potentially to be a main challenger or to unseat uh, this government? Has it done anything significant? We don't do like a pool business because sometimes this pool system other people do. I don't know how to do it, how they come up with it. You must be able to pinpoint specific things, what matters to the people, to the voters, to the electorates. You go out, do this, make a selections, and you ask Liberians, voters to see, hey, what do you think? But people just throw a number when this one win and this one vote today, who will win? I don't know that. I don't just I don't believe that. We must be able to give our people choices. We must be able to give a sense of direction in making strong political decisions. But having said that, do you think this pick of Ambassador Boyka, do you think he has added political dividends to his campaign and potentially could win the election? You think so?
Yes, to me is also addition to his candidacy. Thing is, whoever comes with in politics we look at number. I know some people will say why some people are not chosen, but what we actually look at, you have to be able to win before you make some decision. And if that is what can make you to win, I mean, you have to look at every factors that lead to you winning. And I think he comes to the table with in Liberia we have, people want to root up certain things, but this is something that we don't root up in politics. We have travel line, we have sessional line, we have all of the factors contributing to winning an election. And I think he comes from the background where he have a certain era that he has a good number of votes, and that I can say is an adding number, to its addition to his candidacy with the VP, because
Okay.
he comes from a big country with a high population, and looking at that population too, it is an added advantage that we can tap into that population
All right.
in making our candidate to win.
Mr. Fumba Associate Washington from Matadi Sinka. Thank you so much joining us this morning hour from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. This is why I attach so much importance, because people out there looking to get a conversations of substance, a conversations that will help to drive nada. And that's the work of the media. The media is a sort of conduit we are not for, we are not against, but we right there in the middle, to help in having national conversation. But yeah, and we also pick the comments from our onliners. Some of them don't like to call, but we also value their comments, their tweet. However, their comment tweet does not in any way represent the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but it do help us to facilitate this high call conversation. This is what our follower, Mr. Jimmy Gray, is saying. I think JNB pick was mainly based on the so-called Nima County is a rich vote county. So let's perform a surgical operation in our own opinions, in our own views of Mr. Gray point opinions of view here, which of course he entitled to that. But can we say Nimas is not a rich county? So I'm not sure why the so-called here. But we'll put a number out here. Maybe if you wish to expand on that, Mr. Gray, we will highly appreciate that. I think this is
Can I say something on that?
Yeah, I'm coming. So I just want to let him know. When we put a number out, he also at liberty to argument his case why so-called. If you are saying like maybe I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but he has the right. But let's see here. And when we look at the last stunt, Boyka, his performance for Nima, it was horrible. It was horrible. And this is why you must be strategic. Boyka doesn't need anybody senator representative coming from Monserrato County. That's the very first thing. And sometimes people don't know when people are making these choices. Political choices are different from anything. Anything that is politically oriented, you have to be very strategic. Because if you miss an exit, you miss it. Period. But let me get your reaction. Nima, can we say it's a so-called vote-rich county?
Yes, Mr. So, Nima has one of the highest population in our country, and
But his
looking
so
at that,
maybe I'm getting it wrong. Because why you say so-called is like we are in denial, or it's not acceptable, or it's not a fact that Nima is a rich county. Because when you use that so-called, there's something.
so-called is relative. That's how you perceive it. But in my way, that's how it is acceptable. For me, that's how it is considered. When you say so-called, I mean either I am accepting it that way or not accepting it that way. For me,
Okay, yeah, that's
it is a rich, you
okay.
know, county. And I want to differ a little bit with our one of our listener is just not picking up a candidate, to say, okay, let me just pick a son of Nima, also a potential son, because they have so many of the Nibalians that are out there that they could choose. But we're looking at the candidate that we can put forth that we would not have a problem with, the people of Nima would not have problem with voting for, because you just can't go and put anybody out there and say, okay, let me just take anybody from Nima. We have to one from Nima, and other potential candidates. But I think there is some vote rich from Coon, because he has won election 3 times in Nima. So there must be something that the Nimanians have seen in him that they trust, and based on that trust, we can tap into that trust that the Nimanians have for him. That's why I think it's not just because he's from Nima.
Okay, and we'll try to. We gotta make our folks to be participants into this conversation. Some of them don't like to come here, but this is what Edit James C. Bly Jr. is saying. Senator Cool has no problem at all. Okay, then I mean saying it. Then LPR is Edit Bly saying it. Senator J. Coon has no problem at all. The one with the problem is the USA prisoner, PYJ. His too much of involvement with Senator Coon may bring bad to Hans Ambassador Boyka due to the censure. Oh my goodness, Edo Blight. Well, the making of there's no way that we can Prince Johnson can be out of this fries, because Prince Johnson is one of the person who, should I say, got Senator, then Representative, then Senator. Okay, the conversation is about to get more interesting. I'm hearing the Councilor Tiawan say Gonglo should be making the major announcement. We will be asking our own guy, who is a strong supporter, not just only a strong supporter, he's in the rank and file, playing the high profile. That's a good thing I like. LPR, I mean, anybody who wins is some kind of way, we get closer. But right now, we're not nobody. So that's one good thing. Let me bring in Sid Goya. He's a strong supporter and a major factor. He's on a committee. Councilor Tiawa say for them. The one thing, the Gonglo people, I'm hearing they'll be having a fundraiser. They're not even nothing really moving there. They don't care with this too much of drama. So let's see here what Gonglo is about to get his own announcement. Let me bring in Sese Goya. He is a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio and also support the candidacy of Councilor Tiawans Say Gonglo, former Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia. Which law he did not execute, which administrative policy he did not put in place For which now he wants the Oval Office. Everybody been arguing that the Oval Office is where the decision lies, and that's where you need it. Legendary Sister Goya, good evening and welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. So? How you doing, my sister Koto?
I'm hearing the broom is being resuscitated. What's going on? This broom here, what's happening? The broom came, you guys brought in the States, went to Philadelphia, swept the whole of Derby, went to Joe Biden, Wilmington to Delaware, took it to Minnesota, swept, helped to clean Air France. I got some of our suitcases went missing 1 year ago, no hay and tay. What's happening? When would this broom kind of like when you guys want to put the real straw in that broom to get it going? Good evening and welcome.
Hey, how you doing? You know, it is not just enough to have a broom and be sweeping. But there's a common saying that you don't sweep against the wind. You know, we see some beginning when a man say go sweep, you don't sweep whole day till the wind is blowing, then you want to sweep where I'm coming from the market. So the wind blowing against you, then you're sweeping the peanut, you're trying to sweep towards the wind just blowing, or just be blowing the rubber. So we are not here playing how they call it, Cinema Costa thing that the United Party and the ANC people on, where people get
there you go.
And they push them, you know, and then they get to determine their time frame. So it looks like, you know, for a leadership, it's not stable. When there is wind, you know, the ship is moving, then the captains of the ship are being perturbed. We're not like that. We are not perturbed. We're
no turbulence, nothing can rock.
Turbulence is nothing, because look, when you're on a flight and you hear turbulence, the last person you want to be afraid is the pilot. You don't want a pilot coming out, oh, people, it's going to be crazy. No, you want that calm voice over the intercom that says we are hitting turbulence. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened. We're going to make sure we get through this. We need a calm voice and a stable hands at the helms. And that's why we are not being pushed by this VP thing, you know, now we've done this, now other people do this, other people going, oh, I want to play checking for VP, or what the place looking for mattresses and things for VP. We are not perturbed by that. We are talking to the Liberian people because at the end of the day, we are trying to sign a social contract with the Liberian people and we want to make sure that they have their fair share of the national pie. It doesn't matter whether they live in the village, whether they live in Bogonjile, or they live in Zolowo, or they live wherever, that they will have equal access to the national pie. So we're not worried about the things.
I hate to do this. We do not speak in ambiguity here. You politician, you're speaking specific tone that is understood by politicians. But there are ordinary Liberians here listening. Let's quantify this and break it. Who going putting, you say why they're going, they're looking for a VP? Who are you talking about?
My man, don't use my mother to your pepper.
You said it. Yes.
You know the part that people say, some people look at other people mattresses for VP.
I think I want, if you go on the mattress, I think that bad buck you're trying to find, and that VP funding for all. I don't want anybody going on. I don't think Frederick actually most we agree with you for protocol. We don't want anybody going.
I'm Frederick up with mommy again to now begging you because you did that strategically. You call out many just so you can do something.
No, I'm my man. So you know, yeah. So, but on a serious note, the counselor, I mean, he's really surveying. He's visiting to the length and breadth, villages, walking on foot, going places. It's like he's doing all he should be doing. What were the electorates? What are they considering? Why we can't empty all of these people's, their visions, their plans, their agenda for the country? A lot of distractions is still going on here. So how can the media war help in getting this process? I've seen some other thing happening, other next where they won't play the other tape, they won't play the tape. We hold fire with the other one year, but saying you not throw stone or this is I don't get it. We have here, let me make sure here. I don't want to be I give some 157 days, according to the National Election Commission, says it 157 days to go to make a consequential decision. We're going to be electing a vice president. We're going to be electing the first branch of government, 73 men and women, potentially, who are going to be deciding our fate. We don't even see most of them. We don't know who they are. I mean, I don't see it. I don't want to draw a conclusion, but they are not even coming for us to know we only focusing and there's nothing, and we having all of these distraction has engulfed the entire process. How can we navigate through that?
But I really do think that is the reason, that's the strategy behind the LPP and the Gonglo movement to focus our attention on outside of Monrovia, because a lot of this media stuff is sucking up the oxygen in Monrovia. Let's be frank though, right? All of these network, our people.
Let me bring in Samson To is sending me some ridiculous messages here that are giving Gonglo people and whatever here. So let me just bring in the Liberal Progressive is here, and so you will carry on. Here we go. The Liberal is here. Go ahead.
So what the Gonglo movement is doing is everybody in Monrovia right now, their data is being overused on, oh, let's jump on the other platform. They're saying they want, oh, let's join the other side. They're playing the other tape here today. You know, it's almost become like it is the season where we're having the Liberian music award or the Liberian entertainment award, right? And they're just people just dropping mixtape all over the place. You know, Jefferson Koji dropping his own, other people dropping their own, and this is buffoonery. We are talking about the life of our people. We're talking about the future of my future grandchildren, if I will have some. And other people, we're here playing fun with this thing. And that is the reason the councillor and some other politicians have left their whole media airspace, and we're in the villages and in the towns talking to the people about what matters to the people. At the end of the day, you know, we all can sit on this platform, we're still talking it, but what we have done in Liberia for the past several elections is that we have reduced the discussion to Monrovia and its environs. That's where the politicians heavily stand to talk about their issues if they do, but when they go to the countryside, they just do the heavy, I will say, okay, one cow and they leave, and they don't tell the people what they're going to be running for, which is a disrespect to the people. And that is why the Gonglo movement and the LPP, we're changing this. We're bringing in new electorates. We're going into the villages where nobody has been before, and we're talking to people. When the time comes, we're going to announce our VP pick. But for now, you can't be talking about VP pick when you haven't even told the people what you would do as the president. You haven't reached out to everybody for them to know what you're going to do. So that's what we're focusing on right now.
The conversation now is about to go off track here this evening. That I guarantee. Are you oppressed for JMB, for the Unity Party now? And you doing yourself like that? Why are you trying to exhibit here this evening? Welcome. We're not hearing you. Your microphone is not working.
Are you speaking to the real journalists on this platform?
Is the no pressure?
Yeah. I'm trying to.
That's the ones CDC. They gave him that press jacket when he went for the inauguration. He bringing it here. He displayed that press jacket here, and at the end of the day, we saw what happened at the Someone Kind those Sports Complex. Literally 57 or more days now. The Liberal Progressive. He's a card-carrying member of Liberty Party. He does not believe in the political ideology of his party. One day he will tell one say Gonglo. If he doesn't see a way, he comes back to Boyka. When Boyka doesn't do something that week, he jumped to ANC. Now he's wearing this jacket here this evening. I'm not sure what he tries to prove and what he tries to inject to our vote, to our electors here this evening. The Liberal, good evening.
What is Mr. So, I, as usual, I just want to flunk some of my journalistic credentials here this evening, and I thought that I wear my vest, which is genuine. When I go to Liberia, I'm duly registered. I have all my ID cards. I have everything that you need to have in Liberia in order to cover the news. And so I just thought that I put that on this evening, Mr. So. The conversation is very interesting. But I'm still trying to observe and see where this lady and this gentleman, which is Koto and Sisse, I just hope that they don't flip over on us here tonight and start speaking in Lama, because we will be in deep trouble. And so I hope they will have the discussion in a language that we were all going to be able to understand. But no, Mr. So, look. Let me tell you this. I think Councillor Gonglo, and like I've that's who I am. I say the truth. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. I say what I believe to be truth. I'll say it. And it doesn't matter what I'm supporting, whoever I'm supporting. It doesn't matter the person doing wrong. I will say it. They not made that announcement almost 1 week now. 1 week today.
Oh,
1 week. The people are not even call said now. They not made that announcement 1 week. 1 week.
The people who get elephant.
1 week. We see nothing here. All we saw the man, the vice president, what are the Baptist? He going for Baptist and what? 1 week now. 1 week. We hear the old man yet. We hear nothing. So how are we supposed to talk? What are we supposed to say? We're supposed to say we think that we think that what we eat or that what we tell our people. This is unacceptable. On a very serious note, this is unacceptable. The only good thing going for us right now, those of us who admire the ambassador, is that Prince Johnson is very quiet right now. He's not running his mouth like he did the other time. And so because of that, that's a good sign. He's been very quiet. As long as he stay quiet, things will go well. But then use that opportunity to come and talk. Nothing. So now...
I understand Mr. Toe's frustration.
Hold on 1 second, Koto. Let's get it. This guy here, we got to be very careful because he's good. And to flip-flop is not a better thing. That makes you human being. You can adjust and so all the things, who you talking about? Who are you referring to?
Ambassador Baka and Senator Kong have not said anything, nothing whatsoever. Okay, maybe they're waiting for all of the brouhaha and they want to say it and that one say who say what, all that thing to be over. Okay, I give it. Fine, I get that. And the good, like I stated, one of the good things that happening right now that happening with us, when I mean us, those of us who admire Ambassador Baka, they don't know me, I don't know them, I just admire him. But the fact that Prince Johnson is very quiet right now, he's not running his mouth, which is good. The more he stays quiet, the better it will be for Ambassador Baka and Senator Kong. The danger in that is they allow people to improvise, to fill in the gap by saying who they are, by defining them. And then in order for some of us who admire them, want to talk something good about them, I can't jump over somebody's accusation and say this is who. No, first thing is we're going to have to defend now and try to deny what these people have written. It takes time. But on the other hand, Councillor Gonglo, even if he doesn't win this time around, Mr. So, if he doesn't win this time around, the next presidential time that will come up, he's going to win hands out. Nobody going to challenge him. Nobody, because Comey is not going to see, he's not going to run again. After this one he's done, he ain't win, he's not going to run again. Ambassador Baka ain't win, not running again. Jeremiah Kun will end up just like Nukwe. You know, yeah, Nukwe need lately? No. Jeremiah Kun will be just like Nukwe.
Nukwe endorsed the president recently.
The what?
He endorsed George Weah recently.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let him go ahead and do that. Maybe Kun.
He said he doesn't want strangers infiltrating his county.
Okay, that's fine. Where was he? Was he not? Okay, I'm not even going to address that. But the point here is this. Senator Kong will be just a senator. But Councillor Gonglo, who is now has gotten certain root in the countryside. Very important. Let's remember that I said it before and I will say it again. Whenever he traveled to these villages, there are roads that go to these villages. Cars supposed to be on those roads. But when he gets stuck. And when he gets stuck, he's not alone. In the mud, he's not alone. There are other people that are going beyond the village that perhaps the next village he's going to, there's someone else living way behind on the other side. But then the person said, oh, Councillor, you here with, the other thing we go through every day. My people, they think, yeah, and not easy. Whatever conversation they're going to have in that mud, that person leaving to the next village, he's going to say he met the councillor and the councillor was in the mud with him. That kind of thing sticks in the mind of the people. Come on, joke around. Councillor Gonglo is pretty much
making
next election.
So Now, you this seems to be like a 360 or 480 turn here again this evening. So let me, for clarity here, what do you expect? What you want to see Cone doing right now?
Before Kuhn say anything, let me say again, this is what I believe. This is what I think needs to happen. Before Kuhn says anything, Ambassador Baka gonna have to give us talking point. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this. We can't come out and say this is what we believe. No, there's nothing here to believe anymore. This is what the ambassador have stated, and we can expand on that. And those of us that don't know the English, we can speak the Quran. But at the end of it, we will say the ambassador said. You see, those that can speak the English, they will expand on it. But at the end, it will be like a quotation from the ambassador. But if we don't do that, I can come out here now and say, oh, and then go and bring out some old story for the ambassador. But that would not do.
Let me help the
Let
Unity
me go to Koto here.
Let me just real quick before Koto come here. Let me help the Unity Party. The biggest issue out there right now, since Kun was announced, is not about Kun, right? It's very few about Kun. That peripheral stuff about the Boyotiki, all the other things that's not taking hold. The biggest thing that is tending to be taking hold right now is the issue of the War Crimes Code, right? Because people are believing that Prince Johnson brought Kun, and therefore the War Crimes Code is dead. There is a video out there, and I don't know why the Unity Party is not propagating that and spreading it. There is a video out there where Jeremiah Kun speaks about that he support the War Crimes Court.
Exactly, and that's what I was just talking.
And I shared that video in our chat room. I don't know why they're not pushing that.
Because the old man ain't speaking.
You see, Mally Jones could even welcome. It's sad. The liberal is in a disillusioned world. He's one of those that are kind of killing the conversations in Liberia. You're talking for a person, you support someone can and they say, even though they don't know you, I don't know how you got to this point. First of all, people that don't know you, you don't know them, you're supporting for them. You sit on a major platform and you're not doing anything to help to enhance, to sharpen their message. Why you liberal decided to support somebody that you don't know?
But where's the message that I need to sharpen? Where's the message that I need to sharpen? Tell me.
On what basis? What was your conclusion for you are for which you're giving support? On what basis?
Because I admire him. Admiration has nothing to do with message.
Okay,
wow. Okay, Koto, let me just bring you in. I told you, this guy, you got to be very careful with him. One day, his tone here, he and Sese Goyo, they have talked in the backstage. You see Sese texting during that. They have talked out here. And so they have come here this evening to try to get, and then I want to get under my skin. But here we are. Can you trust this guy here as a good supporter? When he
as a journalist, not a yellow journalist. I am a real.
You're more or less like a blue one now. You're not even like a yellow. You're more a green one now because you don't even you're supporting somebody. You can't research. You can't tell. You can't convince electors, voters why this person. One day you come, you slam this person, put them in 360 oven to have them roasted, and then you finish. You want to kind of pour some spicy stuff on it. Koto, do you agree with liberal analysis?
Well, the liberal is entitled to his views, but I just want to point this out. These people have just joined together a week ago, and to inform you that the eye putting strategy together is not just quietness that you think it is, because probably you don't know what is going on in the background. In fact, what is happening now is trying to sketch or put a schedule together as to who goes where and where they can begin to start, engaging the voters. It's just not quietness. And this can just be just jump in just overnight and start doing. You have to strategize it, and that's what's going on now. I understand your frustration, Mr. Togo, but once you're not in that arena, you will not know until it comes out. So I just want to let you know that that is what's going on right now. And Sisse is saying that There are some videos that are out there about Jeremiah Cole. We're not putting out there. Who put the video out? It's the United Party things that I put the videos out there, and I even have lot of them that I'm putting out. And let me say, I didn't want to go there with you, but I'm telling you, I personally have been going through a lot of videos on my own, to know who Jeremiah Kun is. I didn't know him, and he just coming out is somebody that we have to also go behind to dig what is behind him, and that's what I am doing. And Sasso said he having problem with Mr. Toe flip-flopping, and I'm just not one of those. I want to be in that issue with Mr. Toe, because I can't just pick a candidate and just be like 100% and just like follow, and just my nose just be like following. No, if it comes to some place where you have not done the right thing, I point your wrong that you have done. It doesn't mean that that's going to spoil the relationship between you and I, but we have to be able to point out, what the people that we are following, when they do wrong, we point out their wrongs. And, and in that way, I think we will be able to set a way where they will correct their mistakes. And I think that where he is from, and not to criticize him that he flip-flopping. I do that also. So if that's the case, then I flip-flop, because I'm not going to sit there and say, because I support this candidate and he just, everything is just, yes, I support no. And I think that's why I agree with Mr. Toe on that. But let me let you know that things are working behind the scene. And
I stand strong with you, madam.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway, it's not a surprise. I am the only neutral person on this network. The liberal.
The people say you're not.
Oh yes,
we know you're on
yes, neutral.
People say, please, shall we send you a barrel to your house? You know the barrel.
Yeah, exactly.
The liberal told me that.
Gentlemen, we got to carry on the show. You're trying to get this whole show in the to derail it now. Okay, Octavia Miles Jones. Good evening, welcome.
Oh yeah, thank you. I hope I'm sensing that people are about to form what I call a panelist collaborative movement on this platform. But
I tell you,
somebody will finger that document.
They don't bring that. That finger bring they get the whole thing outside down, inside down to them. When you nobody, anybody try it, we amputate that finger right away. So
yes,
go to the next page.
You see, I think both the liberal and his supporter have got some point, and I think the moderator equally so have got some point as well. It took some time before the VP, a lot of people been complaining, including even the panelists here, been wondering, and it had even been an agenda set on this platform. When are these people going to announce their VP? And finally, the cat was let out of the bag. So I want to agree with the moderator on one thing. That is, since it took so long to get a cat out of the bag, we thought, okay, yes, we agree to work together now. All right. When we need to, there's something called touch the ground running. And touch the ground running is like right after your announcement, we move to agenda number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. It's like you keep bombarding you keep bombarding the voting block as you move on. I think that's where the moderator is coming from. But the moderator should know that that's a different technique when it comes to the African politics. But sometimes when you drag on in the African politics, sometimes it turns around to bite you. Yes. Because I thought a lot of things were put in place, and by the time the announcement is made, people hitting the southeast, we say, oh my God, and not eastern, the fire is blazing, you see. But we keep hearing this thing, oh, okay, they are organizing. Okay, they are organizing. It kind of a little frustrating, It kind of a frustrating, like Mr. Sister just said, panelist sister just said. I've been going a lot of video thing and this and that, but I don't think this is what the people really looking for right now. You see, the homecoming thing we just talked about previously is necessary. I have not even seen that yet. Okay, so the people just preparing. You will be preparing until the 11th hour. The stock issue is shaking, and it's like CDC had decided to refocus its entire weaponry, election weaponry in that direction now, because looking at they have discovered now that this is Joe Wiase's backbone. So Joe Wiatu, you have discovered now that someone had discovered his backyard. So he's not, it's like they're sleeping there now. Okay. But United Party, the video I saw, to be frank with you, I was very encouraged.
You're talking about Jeremiah Con.
Jeremiah video I saw, I don't know when that video came in, but if that video came in before his selection, it was excellent. If that
was 2001, I believe, that interview.
Yeah, if that video came in after his selection, it was excellent.
2021.
2021.
Yes. Okay, I listened to that video and I was very encouraged. And two things came to my mind. Father and son. Are they still going to stay in the same room? Are they still going to be on the same dining room table? You see? Because Jeremiah said, no matter how the war code come, the concept, he support it. It may not be the TRC, but he support some form of justice. And one thing that struck me, he said, we will need to take our time to put this thing together, but equally so, we need to move fast before those who that killed these people die. I said, oh my God, this guy is serious to the bone. You see?
Okay.
So you want for people to be punished, then death even picking them out. Can you imagine that? So I really appreciate him for that, because I've been very skeptical when it comes to the TRC thing and Jeremiah Cohn coming into to just screw the whole thing up. But it's like I'm beginning to be free with him now.
So free with him, what is the interpretation for that?
Oh, free with him is like I think he's tend to liberalize this thing.
No, I'm talking about you. You now, you begin, because when human beings say, I'm free with Sissy, I'm free with Alfonso, the possibility of gluing yourself, getting much closer now. And you've been very apprehensive yet. You prefer apprehensive, or I'm still watching, but now you are using a big word. I'm free. So you are at liberty now to make a decision in your direction. So what is the length of that freedom now?
It was good that you asked that question. When I use the word free, it's like I will have to slow down on some of my attack. It seems to be the guy, he's a different guy. Yes. Instead of him being even using the word surrogate now, I will have to cease on that for now.
And when you slow down attack,
and see him to be himself rather than Prince Johnson made. I think that's where I'm coming from. Not the issue of membership. No.
So when you slow down, then what next?
Oh, when I slow down, I have seen this video. And I'm sure if that from the video is too early to conclude, but I really want to gain his flower for that video. Yes.
Okay. So, and this is what we've been saying here. Most of these, SSA, you better know that you involved in politics, are ranking Koto here. So there is a material, because I listened to that and I saved that. I'm going to be playing a little bit SSA. So there's some little disconnect here, because people in politics, you capitalize on something that are going to bear out fruit. If you don't, if you let that taste, that juicy aspect to go away, because the apprehension there is there. This man here, that's what his name said, that Senator Johnson creation, and with Senator Johnson, with the whole economic war crime code, we know his position. He's been telling you, oh, you don't mind that thing, it's not going to come. But this interview seems to settle the score, or kind of like put to rest this guy, his decision. What are he going to change when he gets there? That's a different thing. Politicians are very unstable. They are unbalanced, just how some liberals are. So it's not a big deal. But there is something on record. So, Sissy, it's the Unity Party people. Are they, do this? If I say see, I know it's out there in the public here, but do they get the inner part, the message of this guy here, so that, because he should be the one to drive this agenda and be playing this one, be playing that they are new, they are talking here, but that is not happening. They're forcing ANC, forcing with Unity Party people forcing with ANC. I don't know why they're not checking it with the Gongo people that much or Mandela Cooper, but these two people, and I understand people try to gain relevance and gain some sort of edge over one another. That's why opponent do. But why is the Unity Party folks? Why are they not making big deal out of this?
So I want to agree a little bit with my brother, Mr. Mali, but then veer off a little bit. I think, and I want to be, because Koto said she was right now she's studying on Jeremiah Kuhn and she's watching video, and these are Unity Party insiders. They are just now studying the guy that they made VP. What was the selection process? Because if you didn't have dossier on your person, how did you pick him? Because it is not just like JMB became standard bearer and then the next day he woke up from city and you pick Kuhn. This has been a long, drawn out process. We didn't have music video made out of this. Man can't talk or has been released. And insiders to the Unity Party are telling us that they're just now looking for scraps of tapes of Jeremiah Kuhn to study Jeremiah Kuhn. After the wedding, the time you start studying somebody, after you're finished getting married, the person moving your home, the time you go study their ways now. So I really believe that either A, the Unity Party did not do Liberian people justice in the selection process. They did not critically have a team that critically look at everybody and have a dossier. And because what you do is you put a candidate A up and you look at the pluses and the minuses, and you tell the ambassador, if you pick this person, these are the things this person brings to the ticket, but here are the baggages. And if the ambassador starts to whittle down people, then you start to look at, okay, how do we go out there and make sure we can defend the baggages or we can minimize the hurt that will create? Because JMB has been in the public eye for a long time. Everybody knows the old tire story that people will talk about JMB. If the one that attacked JMB is that he's old. And sorry for this, I want to say something, it is not my word, that he has battery in his heart. And somehow people think he would die early. And that he squandered 12 years. He was a parked car, and then 50. It depends on who you talk to. Some are 40 years, some are 50 years, some are 75 years. He's paying government. Those are the try and tired attacks on JMB. So there's nothing new coming on JMB. So they should have known that the person they're bringing is going to be the person that's going to take the brunt of the barrage of attacks. And so if you're bringing Jeremiah Kuhn on, you should have at least already had a game plan on how to move forward, right? So what they should have been able to do was to roll out already, like you said, look, go Nima Kante, welcome, or Lofa Kante, welcome, it doesn't matter. But this is not the time they should be practicing on who Jeremiah Kuhn is. And here's the thing, if they delay on this video, this video can be used as a positive to say, y'all say Jeremiah Kuhn is not his own man. Yeah, he here talking about he agreed to the war crimes code, even though there are some limitations he put to it. If they delay, the ANC can use this video to create a wedge between Jeremiah Kuhn and Prince Johnson. And if that happens, we'll be back to Dr. Peter Nagao days, where Prince Johnson got all one money and said the man will leave the late Sawyer government. And the man left Sawyer government. And then 2 weeks later, he said, I'm a Gia Moran, and man couldn't stay Gia Moran, and man move. It will come down to the same thing. The Unity Party got to be very, very careful.
Okay, Kato, all of these were indirectly. You heard him saying, that's not my word. He said, Kato then, and Boyka, you want to tell me anything, or get one day, they didn't talk. Are you there?
I don't know. I know Caesar is from the background where he's frustrated about our selection. And, I don't bash about. But the thing is, I did not make the selection. So if you say the Unity Party people, I'm not a Unity Partisan. I'm supporter of JNB, so get it right. So information that I get,
why you can't tell us your true identity? A supporter,
and you bring campaign for Ellen, you say you were Unity Party. When you start being Unity Party,
I support a Unity Party. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, 3 elections you support them. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
I support. Okay, quickly here, you was carry on. Do you have a party? Do you have a party that you support, Madam?
So the thing about it is, I supported the party, and I'm not at the party hierarchy to make that selection of the VP. I wasn't part of the selection of the VP, so I have the right to study who was selected. So if I'm saying it, I'm not saying it on behalf of the Unity Party. I am saying me, Koto, doing my analysis. Okay, so that's where I come from. So don't take my word for Unity Party. Okay, I'm speaking on behalf of myself, how I'm doing my own investigation.
You saw the liberal doing it here.
You see the Unity Party speaking, they will come, they say, I'm the, you see the partisans and their various hairs, speaking on behalf of the party. But for now, I'm speaking as a supporter of JNB. So there I come, So I don't want you to start running with it, like you're taking it now and running like the Unity Party, if you know who they're dealing with. So you get it wrong. Okay.
But the last time you were yesterday, you were getting inside information, you inside Unity Party backyard and everything. I went for the VP, not inside the backyard.
Oh yes, I didn't know I have my own VP that I have on mine. So if they select the next select his own, then I gotta know who that VP is. You think I would just go, I know that one of them would just follow? I'm not a follower. I'm not a follower. So I gotta do my own studies about him. And I really been looking at some videos here. I have bulk of them. I think I will send them over to Mr. So if you really want to take a look at them, because I personally, even though I have been following some of his interviews, but I don't know him too much, like I can at least talk about the stand-up barrier. So that's where I'm speaking from. So
okay.
And for where that's not even only the issues, but in his legislature, performance, I've also been following that. For the very few that I've seen, I saw some engagement he even have with the company that is in sorry?
I believe Asalamantel.
Yeah, Asalamantel. He was even engaging that some of the promises that he made, that the renewal of their contract will delay, because some of the promises that they have made, prior to then obtaining the contract have not been, achieved. And in fact, he was going deep into that. When you saw sometimes even the huts that they went and put, that instead of putting structure down that they have promised. I think some time ago, when you even saw the senator, Maserati senator at the time, what the guy name, went there to see some of these buildings. It was on Cole's avocation and advocates rather, that he overcame this, So those are things for me. I look at your output. It's not the individual physical outlook that the people look at, but what they are capable of doing for our country. For me, that's what I look at. And for a level of time now, I've seen some output that at least I can vouch, for him as a VP. But until then, I'm still looking for more to add on.
Still looking for more. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, the conversation continues. I am Alfonso Zienso, live with the analysts right here on LPR-TV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful, inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it out for you.
Okay, that's who we are. Not just only politics, we also involve in community engagement. And so, as part of our commitment, if you're having a conventions and memorable event, no matter why it is, just let us know, and we can help you to work it out. When there's no way, trust me, we will find it. If it is infinite, whatever, we are unlimited. No imitation, no duplications. That's Liberia Public Radio. Gentlemen, lady, guys, welcome. We're just gonna make something to get some money so that we can keep up with our bills. Instead of being beggar, and then at the end of the day, take place. Go and say, okay. All right, so let's change the conversation here. One of the main challenges in such, the other people are not seizing. Well, let me see what I can play a little excerpts of this Cone here, Cone interview here.
So what I am upset dressed here this evening, Mr. So you went to Sissy, he said his thing. You went to your padron over there in Massachusetts. I mean, in neighbor state. He said whatever you have to say. You went to Madam Kotu. She spoke of mine, and I'm over here as a seller dressing here tonight, Mr. So. What's going on?
I told you quarter for already for a coalition. You say, yeah, Madam. So whatever she said.
So you this is, but anyway, go ahead. You can't silence the liberal. That's just not possible. But let me say this before you go to your kumbaya stuff here. Let me just say this on the Prince Johnson Jeremiah Cone issue. Jeremiah Cone video is out there, but I don't trust it. I just don't trust that video anyhow. Look, Mr. So we have to be sincere. We have to be sincere. Prince Johnson has been fooling himself for a very long time. You can bear me witness on this. I've been on my show here that people like Prince Johnson didn't get one money and say the Liberian government or the Liberian I'm doing good in the army, therefore I will start some kind of trouble in this country. It was things that caused people like Prince Johnson then to go that route and involve himself into the rebel activities. Those things, Prince Johnson, most likely, I'm not saying that he can defend himself, but he can truly explain to the Liberian people. Now, Jeremiah Cone talking about bringing a war crime court in Liberia. If that happens, you think the government of Liberia or the Liberian people will say we're going to execute Prince Johnson? I don't believe that, because most likely Prince Johnson will seek forgiveness from the Liberian people. He will come out and clearly, just like Blythe did. And Liberians, most of the people that support this war crime court issue, they are not here for punishment. They're trying to restore the society. So if Jeremiah Cohen is saying this thing, it's not because he wants people to be punished, but most likely he wants us to have these conversations among ourselves and move on and make sure people who are responsible for these heinous crimes will come to the Liberian people and ask for forgiveness. Mr. So all these years, what Prince Johnson, how old is he now? What, it's almost 70 or 80? Yeah, what are you going to get out of him at this time? So the point that I'm trying to make with Jeremiah Cohen in that video is, yes, he's saying that, but I think at the bottom of his heart, he knows very well that Prince Johnson and the Liberian people are not quite on board about punishing anybody, I believe.
So something different inserted into this here. So meaning the major actors war crime code shouldn't be a putsch. Other than that, their campaign will what?
No. Far from it. It will be the push. And that's exactly, they're just starting. And that video, people putting it out there, and I'm sure Unity Party, after they come out of their winter, your hiatus, whatever they call them, sleeping bear, they're sleeping here still, yeah. But when they come out, most likely they will go and talk about those things. And the reason I'm bringing this thing out is not to shy away from it. Most likely people will want to come in and make sure to allow the war crime code to come in, and they will ask for forgiveness from the Liberian people, and the Liberian people will forgive them.
Okay, the Liberian people will forgive them. Anybody wants to chime in before I play a little bit excerpts of that on that liberal analysis?
Yeah,
our lines are open as usual. We'd like you to participate and whatever you
There's
want.
a color already on.
Yeah.
Why are they who's that? Why are they going to your line?
Mr. So, hold on, color. Hold on. Can you call back? Let me straighten the things up. And can you call back, please? Thank you. Mr. So, the people love the liberal.
Yeah. To add to what the liberal have just said, there's so many things. There's so many things on the agenda right now. It's not only the TRC. Today, I was even making my own assessment about the audit. Joseph Barker said when he succeed, he's going to audit the CDC government. But when I did my research on the auditing stuff, I was wondering on a few things. Is Joseph Walker going to bring in an expert from outside to do the auditing? Is he going to use the same auditing department of the Republic of Liberia to do the auditing? Or all his appointees are going to be on ice after the auditing before they take over?
Or probably will he suggest himself to the audit as well?
And my next question was, why is he limiting the audit?
You have a noise
Why
in the
is he
background.
limiting the audit only to CDC? Why can't he expand the audit, let's say, 3-4 years back? You see, if you're really sincere about auditing, because auditing, we're supposed to be heading to two important things. One, it will lead us to asset recovery. Two, it will lead us to a whole lot of money allegedly taken by people, other regime like the Helen Johnson government. You see, these are all allegations. But my point here is that if they come to power and appoint ministers all over, including an auditor general, then when are you going to do the audit? You see, so a whole lot of things started coming out to my mind. But back to the liberal, I think we started a discussion on the issue of what's happening now. And Cotto said they are planning. You see, when Jesus decided to move and he decided recruiting his 12 disciples, he touched down running. And no sooner the 12 disciples were in place, and no sooner they started hitting town and villages and other things. So my question here now is, what's happening? What's happening to UP Secretariat? Because the UP Secretariat have got an oversight responsibility, should have an oversight responsibility over the PRO department, the strategy room committee, the voting mapping specialist, the social media coordinator, and the county press attaché. Okay? And these are people who are supposed to be working and taking things to Jeremiah Kuhn and the Pape just to review. But they can't. I hope they're not,
we're talking to Daniel.
so I hope they're not sitting there and waiting for Jeremiah Kuhn to put packages together and bring it to them. So there's a problem with the secretariat right now of the Unity Party.
Okay, let's get some little reaction here from our onliners. And ANC Amos George decided to come through the phone here. I don't know why he didn't go to a patron.
You got a caller here. You want me to put him on?
Yeah, put a person there now. I'll come to the two
caller, but you got to not come on. You gotta do something with your background. Go ahead, Mr. So is listening. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much. I'm at a better position now.
Okay.
I hope you hear me now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi to everybody. I'm happy that I'm on the line tonight. I'm sorry for the background.
But you seem your voice seems subdued here. What's going on? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm at work right now. I just came to squeeze the information in quickly so that I can get back.
All right, please hurry. Yeah.
Yeah. From the beginning, I overheard Mr. Toe asking about why should these candidates are not putting forth their vision and policy and stuff like that. I think one thing that we should look at is the campaigning time. And I want to recommend that the National Elections can now start working on at least changing the campaign time to at least 3 months towards the election. Within 3 months' time, candidates can go out there, campaign, and speak to the people and share their vision. But if the current campaign time is the same, I don't think they'll have much time to get the election.
Okay.
That's my only concern.
Right. Thank you.
The Unity Party people, I think they got it best. But we, on the Congo side, will be the people that will change the entire election period. They're watching see when we announce our DGP. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's turn the wheel on the East Coast here. 612, number 3168. Good evening, caller. Hold on 1 second. I don't know. Is it for me or are you there? Go ahead. Yeah. Why are you sounding so low? Yeah, I'm not sure what it's for me, but yeah, go ahead. You're sounding low. Oh, sorry. That's something too far. Sorry. This guy.
That young man we got my auto. He's in my own.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that guy is in the studio there is a physician. So obviously I don't expect anything good from him about Unity Party.
Which guy?
The I know James or Jones, the other guy that you have there that have been talking about the Southeast. He's studying us that Unity Party is not focusing on the Southeast and all those kind of things. Unity Party does not have, they're not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. First of all, you need to understand that Unity Party brought the TRC to Liberia. And the TRC were meant to expose the atrocities done in Liberia. It was under the Unity Party that you and I got to know what Pre Johnson really did. So the problem was the TRC should have been fostered. The TRC should have fostered another program that would have allowed the war crime code to come to Liberia. But that the TRC itself messed up and the program was not successful. It ended in chaos. You can't blame Unity Party for that. So I don't understand when he be talking about all those kind of things. Then it means that you don't understand the political landscape of Liberia. Even the Southeast you're talking about, the Southeast is not a vote rich. Those places are not vote rich counties. The vote rich counties is the priority of the Unity Party. Obviously, the votes coming from the Southeast will be manipulated by the CDC. It does not mean that Unity Party should not engage people in those areas. Unity Party will. But Unity Party is focused on the vote rich counties, which are Montserrado County, Nima, Bon, and you know, and the rest of that. So as a result, that is what we're looking at. Unity Party, I'm not a UPist. I'm just a sympathizer of JMB. All right? But I believe that Unity Party have their own strategy that they're working on to enforce results. He, on the other hand, is not saying anything about CDC. What is CDC? What does CDC have in place right now to win the election, given the fact that they have been greatly exposed with all kind of corruption and killing?
Quickly here, Terry, do you have any facts, anything to show that CDC going to rake election from the southeast? How you got up to that point?
I'm not saying it. I believe they're going to manipulate the Southeast because, to be honest with you, your man Jovia has done nothing for the people in the Southeast. All right? But again, he thinks in one way or the other that the Southeast is going to support him. And it might be because Liberia politics is tribalistic. So I would not be surprised if the Southeast do come up with votes. But I still doubt. Look at the chance of Mr.
Okay, 30 seconds, so I'll go to the other part. Okay, so before you go, those were your words. They are not words from the LPR, correct?
Yes, they are my words, and I take full responsibility of it. Okay. But I strongly believe that the way President Weah can win this election, which I doubt he will, is to seize control of these three vote-rich counties, which is Nima County, Lofa, Montserrado, and probably Bon.
Thank you so much.
Once he cannot,
let's go to the next caller here. Thank you so much. Okay, Amos George.
Yeah, sorry, man. I could not believe people. No, my niece gave me hit it. Okay. Came to the airport to pick her up. Well, however, I've been following the program. So let me just say something that Samson Tool and Mary made mention of. Samson Tool, let me tell you, we all know what precipitated the war in Liberia. But that doesn't give anybody the right to kill innocent people. There's something called the Geneva Convention. Said that on the borderfront, once someone you grab your enemy, that person should be treated fairly. But when you grab people on the borderfront, you cut the ear off. That is against the Geneva Convention. So Prince Johnson, over and over, had never taken responsibility of his action. He has said on many occasions that he will go to court to justify or to exonerate himself. He never killed anybody. Those are the words. So you don't be thinking about the Liberians are too conservative to just leave him. No. Some of us want those who commit the senior crime to be accountable because we want to set a precedent. So tomorrow, John Yago did us and go in the bush and start killing innocent people. Okay. That is some of the things that we are talking about. Secondly, on Jeremiah Kuhn, the tip, that speech was the one, 2021 when President Weah was urging, when they urged that look at the proposal, that one he made that speech good. What was the relationship at that time between he and Prince Johnson and Joseph Boakai? What I want to see now is Jeremiah Kuhn to have a press conference now so we can ask him again to see whether he still stands by that statement. Then I will have a second thought. Okay. Third, some of us are being on the internet. I have not seen anything about Jeremiah Kuhn legislative record. I'm still looking here. For the 12 years he said I represented it. I want to see concession that they talk about that Joseph Boakai was in the House 63 concession. I want to see what was his stand on those concessions. So those are some of the issues that I will be talking about the last. Let me just say this. And so let me tell you, agree with you. In Liberia, we don't vet these people. Because if we were vetting these people, some of these people will not be in position where they are today. So we don't vet these people. We just say, oh, my man, the man will do it, yeah, the man can do that, yeah, okay, I'll tell the man. This is what happened. Because if that was the case, it didn't know better properly. They would have been talking about things, they didn't have a record, legislative record out there. But if you ask any of the strong supporters, they say they can't give you a account of it. So these are the issues that we have to continue to talk to change the way election or people's elections are done in Liberia. That will be following the program.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to I believe DC error 202 number 2214. Good evening, caller. Before I go back to the
good evening. This is Vincent here. I found your show. I want to make a contribution.
Oh, sure, certainly. Welcome.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say something. We the Liberian people, we are so deceitful to the country, and to the extent that we are seeing the truth and the fact, but we are looking at individual will. How a person say there was supporting we are, and it was the warlord, and now today they got a euro for you. Why would people be so desperate for power until they can even see the truth? They got king on air talking about TRC, you don't about TRC. Do you know what I call TRC? The issue government brought TRC, they went to Accra and they still have TRC before even Unified came in power. And after the TRC got a recommendation, which was those are take part in the war should not take part in election. Who made the TRC recommendation? Were they say early, they say Joseph Baga, and they say United Party people make it the recommendation now were true. There's the same people that look at TRC and condemn everything the panel they brought, and because they say all those that take part in the war should not take part in election for 30 years. Because they are in power, they don't want to repower, they condemn it, and today, who this one? If that recommendation, even they prosecute them, that recommendation will come and continue. All those warlords are now, they are in power, but because they wanted to get power, so they look at it and close their eye on it. Okay. Look at Prince Joseph. Every time Prince Joseph come out, hey, it's justifying human being killing. Isn't it because the person kill people, so you can't kill people. They say justifying. The men say I kill people, ain't that? And you killing, so people kill you too. That's what people are doing. There's truth that's happening in the country, they can see. If somebody do something that you want to look at and talk, you're not going to do it because they want for a bit for you and support you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
All right. So let's pick the last caller here. We are running out of time. Aaron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, hello?
You are the presiding officer in this whole conversation here. Let's hear you.
Yeah, how you guys doing this evening? I just wanted to comment made a comment on the last caller, not the one who just called, but the one who called and was talking about the Unity Party or what has George Weah, President Weah done for the people in the Southeast. So maybe he needs to turn around and look at Joseph Boakai, say, your simple answer, Joseph Boakai, and ask Joseph Boakai, what has he done for the people in Lofa County? Okay? Separator for the people in Lima County. How many days he spent in Lima County during the entire war? How many days he spent there? So when these people come on air, they don't know how happy we are that Joseph Boakai played Jeremiah Cole. They just don't know how happy CDC are. That's the reason why we're not even saying nothing. We're just laughing. Okay? Before you question somebody, question your own person that you're supporting, who don't have even a zinc shot in Lofa County. Okay? Who don't even have a zinc shot in Lofa County. Nevertheless, who couldn't even carry gravel road to his house. Okay? You want to talk about Joseph Boakai record in government? That's all I got to say. Before you come to question the president, His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah, question your own leader. What has he done for his people? What has Prince Johnson done for the people of Lima County? But lie all the time that he never read them. So that's what I got to say. Thank you, Mr. Soul.
Are you also aware that Boakai has a school in Lofa?
Who says that? I want to see the picture of the school in Lofa. Okay. Because the school that they show us in Lofa, the picture that they show us in Lofa, the house is literally depleted. It's going down and down.
Okay, thank you.
I don't want to call on the show. I'm at work, but I just decided to come outside and call because
I know
on what the guy was saying.
Okay, let's go to Liberal State, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Alfonso and the panel. How are you?
Good. Something woke you up.
Okay.
So let's hear from you.
Well, I'm a little bit concerned with the Unity Party, especially as one of the panelists described, that where is the campaign chair? Where is the chairman of the party? To me, it appeared that right now they are playing defense to me, rather than they should be playing offense, to the Unity Party, to CDC.
Okay.
PYJ, as far as concerned, is not a party, member to Unity Party. PYJ is not Jeremiah, Kuhn. I don't care what message you play on this war crime code. It's not Jeremiah Kuhn that's going to stand, in front of, the war crime code to testify. And I feel that they need to make their case exclusive that will be offensive more than defensive than answering questions on Jeremiah Kuhn. And those who are supposed to make those messages, at local narratives will be the party chair. And now they should have the chairman for the party. And they, and they supposed to have their campaign chair. These two people should be coming up now and develop a narrative. They should develop a propaganda machinery that will focus on issues like the voter registration that is in question. They should be able to look at the voter roll. They should look at the census, where you see in Grand Cru, they have more people, living now than compared, to some of the countries, that have more population. They should be talking about those things. They should be talking about issues that arise from the American ambassador, rather than talking on something that communists who they consider to be weak, according to them, then responding to those things. I have not heard anything for the Unity Party in their own defense, to say, look, this is what we did and this is what we can do. All I heard is PYJ. PYJ, I don't care what happened. It's not Unity Party. And I don't think they should focus that much, to me, on it. If they really have a machinery, that they can have a propaganda, as one of the panelists suggests, they should now start together to put up, stand, like a Kura to say, who do you want? These are things that you have to to direct the attention of the voter, to focus on issue, rather than focusing on PYJ. It's PYJ who is it, to the party. Why are they making issue?
Okay. All right.
Not the only person that in the war crime code. And to me, there are a lot of things that they can focus on rather than PYJ.
Caller, please lower your monitor. You just came in. Now you're Mr. Jackson. Okay.
So this is where I feel that they should focus. Don't let PYJ to be, the issue. Right now, look at CDC. How many people have taken pills? How many people in Liberia? Look at the economics. They should now formulate a narrative on those things rather than sitting, to be talking about always war crime code. This is my position. Sorry, and if any of the panel want to expand on it, that would be great.
All right.
And bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll be going back to that. Folks, I think today is Friday. Let's hear from our people. The politicians don't usually give us chance. Okay, so let's have here 786 number 3878, and then we're going to be going to Wilmington, Delaware. Hearing Joe Biden is calling. He has interest in what is happening in Liberia. 786 number 3878. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
How are you, man?
Good.
Well, I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. What's happening this evening? Come to the phone call. What are we going wrong?
Well, I just want to have a small discussion concerning the Prince Johnson issue. I just want to know. I never called on your show before. I just want for the Liberian people to know who is Prince Johnson. Everybody, hello?
Are you about to declassify him now to unveil him to us? Is that what you're saying? Who is Prince Johnson?
No, I'm not trying to say anything negative about anybody. But I just want the Liberian people to know what really happened in Liberia before Prince Johnson and Charter that came into Liberia.
So if you can do it like in a minute, because we are already running out of time, just condense everything in 1 minute, would highly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want people to start talking about Prince Johnson, Charles Taylor, uh, all the rest of the people, Sibu Damatekwane, all the rest of the people. People need to stop and focus on what to do to move Liberia forward. Because it kind of line of Prince Johnson, those taking people on the phone and shoot and say they were corrupt. If I'm wrong, tell me here you're wrong. He did that. And these people he killed, they have mother, they have brother, uncle, nephew. He turned around and started killing people. We were living single. We know when the people used to go, the crime people used to go out and murder and kill people and kill them in Nimba, for Nimba, and kill the hair and carry to Ghana Bay. We watched that. During the overthrowing of the time, the overthrowing then started in Liberia. When that happened, I was driving for Conofili. There where I got to know that when you do somebody to the shoulder and hold the banner or the block and shoot the water. And the way I got to get to go and sign with Conofili is because they went to go arrest my brother to Pakistan. And then they didn't see my brother. And they were charging me my license drive. They said, get in the static G because you are a driver. And that's how when nobody can bring John, how to call it, Kuyongpa. Kuyongpa came except because when the coup failed, we went to Rock Culture to hear the way. There where we found the body. When we brought the body to the mansion, if anybody was there, the man here was facing to the mansion, the four were on the roadway. When those came, he had a maroon suit on him. These are whistling. When you came to know that what went on in Liberia, when you don't know the actual story, do not just start focusing on one person. This person do this, this person do that. We got to stop, or else we're not going to move forward.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your or views, opinions. Those are views and opinions by callers, not necessarily the voice of LPR. Thank you so much. Let's go to Delaware quickly. That will be the last caller for the evening, and we are already out of time here for the analysts to wrap up. 302 number, Delaware, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Cho, I just wanted to remind you that President Biden is on for the second term, so you guys should all brace yourselves up for Delaware again. It's going to be another, well, yeah, I can't predict, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. Biden is on for the second term, so are you ready? No, just, all right. But, my name is Amos, but there is one myth or misunderstanding about Joseph Boakai that I want to clarify because I went to school right behind Joseph Boakai's house. If anybody tells you that Joseph Boakai did not build a decent house in Foyer, tell the person it's a lie. You know, they don't know Joseph Boakai. One thing about Boakai, I'm not a fan of Boakai. He's a very selfish guy, very selfish man. He's my countryman, but very selfish. But he built a decent house in Foyer. I went to school right behind the house. If you ask anybody that's from Foyer, say, do you know Foyer Community High School? They say yes. Say, oh, okay. The decent house right before you get to Foyer Community. Whose house that is? I'm talking about 30 something years ago. He built a decent house where he was working with, I think LCADP or what you know, PMC, you know, whatever, you know, company he was working with. And I used to walk into his house because my cousin lived there. My cousin was stopping there. He built a very decent house. The house that I've been seeing on the internet is the one that from his village, you know, and you can compare the house, you know, from the village to his actual house. But that's a myth, you know. I want to dispel that. Nobody should tell you that Joseph Boakai did not have. Yeah, he built a very decent house, but he's selfish. He's a very selfish guy. Yeah, you know, it's all about him. You know, so that's what I wanted to say.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. Let's come back to you. And I would just make this crystal clear. It's good that we have these conversations. Whether it happens in the past or is happening now, we are talking about the sovereign nations, and these are things people have in mind, good for themselves, and they have to be addressed. Not that when we talk here, that's going to be the solution, but when people talk about it, I probably it gets out of their chest, and that's what involved in talking about nation. And so we are not, as long it's not too against our policy. We don't just cut people off, turn people off. So we sorry if that something makes you uncomfortable, then of course, that's the beauty of the network and how critical sometimes we discuss critical issues, and we don't tend to. Okay, but guys, let's come back here. Time is already fast spent here. You listen to Liberians' reactions makes different depending who call in and their political tone and all of that. So let's bring the conversation to baseline. The political parties, the stakeholders, are they doing enough to unveil, to empty all, to put all out there, to put to a rest apprehension? Because when you are more or less a candidate now, like you got to do more. The public relation aspect has to be sharpened. You don't give people chance to kind of like bank you on something here. Are we having enough information from those folks who are seeking the higher office of the land in order to put a rest? Enough, I don't know, it might sound it's so broad, but are they unveiling themselves so that we focus on some of our own issue? I don't know who wants to go first. Mally Jones, they say you are the guy. Terry say you are all seditions. I don't know how he came to that conclusion. But again, we respect the views and opinions of our viewers here, And when they say that, then you see Samson Toe is laughing. I don't know what is so funny about that.
Mally Jones got a CDC face. Yes, he face.
See, you added injury. You already added to the already. You trying to heal the wound here. Yeah, but seriously on that, I think there's not an opportunity. Why should I want to be very careful here with my words. I listen to Terry here. Oh, he draws a conclusion, and I think that is unfair to say, oh, because CDC people going to do this in the Southeast, and number that come here. And I think I said that here before. There was a distraction on the part of all of the participating groups. They censor whole thing, blow them up, and to the extent some of them were telling people that they didn't not come out publicly, but their talking point, it makes their people not to even go and to register. And then at the end of the day, they turn around and start registering. I think they did their own people the service when they should have created massive publicity to drive their voters to register, because that's prerequisite to whatever political ambition you have. But Mally Jones, go ahead. Are you a sedition?
No, I'm not a sedition. I just want to be politically objective on our analysis on this platform. As a matter of fact, if we go down memory lanes, in 2017, Georgia win Grand Cru by 90%. I said 90, according to the NEC website, 90%. So if people come up here and said Georgia is not doing nothing in the Southeast, yes, I may agree. But that tribal connection is very strong there. Okay? So if you succeed to break it, then you are heading for somewhere. Okay? So that was just an ice on the cake. But here is a question that probably the panelists can help me analyze. Jeremiah Kuhn coming into the UP, was it a merger between the MDR and the Unity Party? Or it just Jeremiah Kuhn as an individual being attached to the Unity Party? This is where maybe I will need some insight. Because if it were a merger, then probably would have seen some political document signed, or they're just speaking as an individual, that means the Prince Johnson party is not attached to this thing?
Okay.
Yes.
Liberal and Cotto will answer. They know those people. They are supporter of them. Probably they might have an insight. I don't want to jump the gun here.
Yeah. And lastly, to the last caller. The last caller, we're talking about the TRC. The 10-year clause that in the TRC, that 10-year clause, Helen Johnson Sally play around to circumvent the TRC and the case the TRC at the Supreme Court. Because Kabina Jani were already sitting there, and he's not supposed to be sitting there, according to the clause. Okay? Prince Johnson already won his own election. He shouldn't have done that. And Helen Johnson Sally were very curious to go to the executive mansion. So they had to find a way to mess up the TRC. And this is how the Supreme Court, under Kabina Jani, messed up the TRC. And today, the TRC is sitting there. And two, before George Weah could even start his presidency, George Weah once upon a time spoke about, when I get in power, the TRC thing, I will revisit it. It's necessary. You see? So just what some of the panelists are saying, the people will say something else. By the time they get to power, it becomes a different story. So Jeremiah Kuhn of 2021, that his video, I never saw that video before. So it's coming on now. Like what Sissy said, is he prepared to put a lot of icing on it now to make it one of the agenda items as they move forward?
Thank you so much. We are running out of time. Sissy.
The question was, are people unveiling themselves? I think Councillor Tewan Gonglo has been unveiled, revealed, and a lot of the view all along. There's nothing mysterious about him. Way back when we released our 10-point plan, it's out there. You go to the Liberian People's Party website. It's on there. By the way, you hear I say Liberian People's Party, right? It's a Tewan Gonglo's website. Some people create websites in their name and put party platform on them. But this is the thing about when people individualize political organizations, they become political clubs. But I would be remiss if I don't push back on my senior player, Aaron Problem. Sometimes in politics, you can still win without stretching the facts. The man speaking vehemently on something that he knows nothing about, that Joseph Walker does not own a house in Lofa County. Hey, man. Even a man in your party, Tamakwaji, what you call Koji, Tamakwaji, you ask Tamakwaji if he can drop one tip right now that will show Joseph Yumabuaka's house. I want to say houses, okay? He got more than one. I don't support Joseph Yumabuaka. I got a way to defeat Joseph Yumabuaka and the Unity Party at the polls, but not with lies and falsehoods. This is wrong. Aaron Poble, that one that Kalyan Conway would say that's an alternative fact. You can't speak about issues like that with so much emphasis. That is not true. As a matter of fact, Joseph Yumabuaka got a very good compound in Bomi County. That's where he lives. He lives right by the Catholic school. This is Dominic Catholic mission, not far away from it. So why people come up with these things and just say these things? And the quality of his house in Lofa County, does that determine what is the relationship between the quality of his house and his ability to make good judgment and be a good president? How many houses George we are in Sando County or in Roji or in Grand Cru? Yo, come on, man. Let's elevate the conversation for our Liberian people, because this is something that their livelihood depends on.
Okay. I think this whole boycott thing, and when it comes to boycott, the people that have interest in it is the liberal progressive and Koto Jala Balayant. And I think you kind of like really paved the way for them. Now Koto smiling, you see liberal there falling to sleep, enjoying you. I won't be surprised when he gave you kudo here. Koto.
Thank you, Mr. So. And I think the reason why for me I'm here is to, educate some of our people in how to elect, a leader. I think sometimes we miss the mark on, electing leaders as compared to when we're selecting friends. you know, because what happened, they have characteristics that we have to look at in a leader. Their decision-making ability, how trustworthy they are, and how effective they are to make decisions to make a greater impact on, the life of their citizens. And I think this is what actually we're missing here, because I see the description of the VP, the former VP, as just like, if you don't know anything about somebody, do not talk about it. That's why when Sister said some of us just coming out to know Kun, and for him, he's right, because I don't know Kun much, and I have to do that. I would rather go to learn about a person, or to study about the person, or check out, make research about the person, than to come and just throw all allegations, against the person that is not true. And we should stop that, not because you support somebody and come and throw some falsehood against the person because they are not your candidate. Some of the things that you guys are saying, in selecting our leaders, it's not the right way. And please, let's look at what we can do to improve our country. It's not what we can do to please our friends. Because we start selecting leadership based on friendship and based on affiliation, it is destroying our country. I could be friendly with Sissy. Sissy is my own countryman, but I know what Sissy is capable of doing, or what Mr. So is capable of doing. I would not go and do otherwise, put them into places that they cannot function properly. And I'm calling on you guys. I believe in Vice President Barker because of what I have seen him doing from the past. It's not, Barker has said that his whole political life, or his administrative life, has not focused on a particular area to say, okay, since I'm from Lofa and my decision should just focus on Lofa. He was vice president, but he didn't just say, okay, every development should go to Lofa. They have priority. So their decision was based on what is the priority now and what can be done later. So based on that, they took the decision to do what they could do at the time. So I see people saying the man did not develop Lofa County. His priority was not to go in to be vice president or go develop Lofa County. His priority was to cater to the people of Liberia. And this is what we're missing, because this trouble line killing us so much. Because if I'm a president and I have there's a problem in Rewaji, or in Maryland County, or Bapolu, I should be handling this important issue than to just focus on Lofa. When you are a president, you're not president for a particular county. You are president for the people of Liberia. So let's take that notion of that, what a person did in this place. Because what they are saying here, we have been saying, Joseph Baka didn't have a house. I have found out that is lie. Baka has a house in his county, and even in his village, he has a house there. So how many houses you should have as an individual when you have the life of other people that you should make impact on? So, yes, you want to say something?
Oh, go ahead. I just want to. What's the funny? What I'm saying for us, we have a guy based in Vanyama. Just because I know I saw that tape, but it's not our own product, so I can't come out here to say definitively that's it. But I mean, since other people are saying this, we're going to dedicate a specific assignment, so it will be our own product to say this is what our guy reported. Because
exactly.
I think
so then for fairness, will you go to Grand Cru and find Joe? We are on the farm in his house too.
Well, when it comes to that point where it's necessary,
we're asking to now. So to that point now, we're asking. So you must send somebody to Grand Cru. We have farm in his house.
We can do that,
and we can bring even the argument.
I'm saying this because I came here. I said no. Why would you say? Because I saw that video. And I see no reason why somebody would go and see. I mean, it's a very big school for somebody to just come and just rush into people's compound to say that it's not a president. But we have to. That's part of our job, because when these people express this apprehension, some falsehoods, some subliminal messages and all of that. It is our job to, based on that, to put it to a rest, to bring that, let it comes from ourselves and not just something people. And that's what I said that, because I think it's important. And it's a challenge to those people.
There is a risk. There's a risk you run with that.
And to conclude, because I have to be leaving you guys.
The organization. Sorry, Koto. Then you run a risk of becoming the machinery that's being used by them. They say, oh, we'll check to see if Joseph Parker got a house. And then they say, oh, but I don't want that. I don't want to go check. Then you're doing their work. So that was the question. That's the reason I'm asking the question. Will you also be going to Southeast to be looking for Joey House? We say, oh, that's not I want. Then we're doing the work for them. All we got to do is just tell people to show their facts and we move on. That's the reason I raised that point.
So,
to conclude,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, to conclude, we have people saying what this person have done in their county, and when we look at our history, we have had most of our leaders from the Southeastern. And when we look at it, the development in the Southeastern era, they have the worst when it comes to road reconstruction and even physical structures and things. So are you going to say we should not elect anybody from the Southeast because they have not carried on any development in their counties? We say no. I mean, we should not make judgment based on that. Those that didn't do it, we accuse them that they didn't do it. And we should go ahead from what the person's ability is, not to go start counting what they have done in the county because they are from this background. Once they can settle or solve the Liberian people problem, should be our priority. So I want to say thank you guys so much. For those of you who do not know how to select leader, we want you to take that method.
Go, you gotta listen to your liberal too, because the way you run now, it's like something. So since you will give you the chance, liberal, I want to say thank you.
Yeah, there, Mr. So. Sissy, Kotu, Mr. Jones. Wonderful Friday evening. Good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful night. Good night, folks.
That's a good side of the liberal at times, though. I must give it to you. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Sissy, Koto, Jones, Amos Joy. He went for somebody at the airport. He said something. They call.
I said this is an open invitation to all men, Jonathan. You can just go there, bro, and all day, but you can't even count the show one day, said.
Jonathan is.
But something happening. Since this whole something happening, where is Keter?
Oh, Keter reading you listening to the tape that was dropped. And then Jonathan, I think
I don't know.
Yeah, Jonathan from Nima Kante, they're about to announcing a fixture too.
You see the liberal?
Yeah, Mr. Moderator, just before you close the door on this platform, I just wanted to add a few things to what Koto said about Joseph Barker. Say he's president. He's not president for Lofa County and this and that. It's like we try to open another can of worm here. Joseph Barker have been a very.
Close the thing.
Yeah, man, you can't open the door box.
No, we're not closing it down, Mr. Sissy. Joseph Barker have been a great disappointment to Lofa County.
Oh. But yeah. The man developed bombing.
Lofa has six.
Bombing.
No. Lofa has 6 districts. And it is 35-minute drive from our district, Kolahun district, to Foya district. Now, one day, Joseph Barker has always flown from Moria straight to Foya district and back. Maybe I stand to be corrected. When Joseph Barker ever visited, you don't even know what's happening in NOD district.
It's not true. All. I can dispute that.
Okay, in my district,
I'm going to open that up.
Let's leave that thing because he has been a very disappointment to me. Hey. Even when he come to America, he meet with the Foya district, delegation, and the rest of us here from other districts. He doesn't even have time for us. I don't want to open. I want to move forward.
Yeah, what I would suggest, Mali. You and I in Rwanda come to my own audition.
Okay, we're gonna solve that problem.
I think when you're talking about your uncle, you know your tradition. My head not inside. You know what happened to Cecilia when Joseph called you? Okay, guys, thank you so much for the show, your expertise, your commitment. to this network yet. Hopefully,
Nice,
maybe
nice.
we don't know how it looks like tomorrow Saturday, but we're gonna have it. Sister, thank you so much, and Jones, thank you so much. All right. Okay, guys. We are going over the time, 9 minutes. We want to thank you so much for your participation. Those of you that call, we are not picking a call. If we didn't pick your call today, it does not mean it was on purpose to do it deliberately, but you saw the volumes of call that were coming in. We want to thank you so much for your time this evening, this morning, depending your location, your comments, your tweets, and those that even called. The intellectual engagement, countering your peers, onliners point and breaking that's the conversation that we want to be having in Liberia. And that's why the civil rights men say conference. They sit around the conference table. They don't just go and throw blow. Even when people are fight, they sit around the table and put across their points. And that's what we want to do. This sort of entertainment that have incited into this industry. They won't say, that won't say. And what is sickening about that, these people who are now championing, who has become the louder voices, they took a side, which is good. But when you take a side, and for any reason, because taking a side, you sit on platform, you have the ability to articulate, to restructure, to remodel, to fine-tune politician messages. And for whatever reasons, you're trusted, whatever you confide in them, it became a disappointment simply because you did not ask that question, or two, you found out that something good was going to be in it at the end of the day. You did not come back to tell the Liberian people your decision then was wrong because you made a poor judgment. You did not ask all of the questions needed because you found out something was in it for you. You turned around somersault 360. You're giving support to another person now. That is okay. But you're having more than 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. We don't know who you are. We don't trust you because you defended these people to your belly button. Everything you argued about them, you coming us now to tell us you're in disagreement. It does happen. We see those things happening. But we got to be more skeptical about who you are and what you represent and who you are championing your cause. And this is why for us here at LPR, we try to do it a little differently. We do not sanction voices, color. Their talking point, we might disagree with them, but we feel no one should be left behind in the conversations of national issue. All must be heard. We can disagree, we agree, we put on the table whatever that is applicable, we make use of it. And that's what we intend to do. We want to thank you so much for your time this evening. And this is how we're going to be leaving you here. If you have a function, convention, birthday, and we can celebrate you. If you're having a birthday, you're a follower of this network here. We don't just believe taking from people. When we take from you, we must be able to give back to you. If you're a follower of the Liberia Public Radio, you're not even a follower to your sympathizer. If there's any good thing happening, I don't assume that we know. I know there's a notification on Facebook, people's birthday and other events, or they put it out there, but we have it done differently. Call us, our number, send us inbox, tell us, hey, XYZ taking place. What can you do? Or how can you be part of a process? And we can have a conversation about that. It's not just on the politicians we celebrate. You must be celebrated of your time, your commitment, and for the love of the country. Sometimes we say things here that doesn't suit your political taste. You don't boycott this network. You don't come and insult us. You express your disagreement, your dissatisfaction, your views, your opinion, and that's what must be entertained. And so we do highly appreciate that. We go back after these broadcasts and listen and read your comments. It helps us to enhance our capacity in making sure to do what is right. It is about Liberia, not about my home, not about your home. So we must expect those hostile and volatile and consequential argument, disagreement. And because why? Everyone support and defend his or her own alligator. that is we know about. Until then, I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Thank you so much. For those of you that are celebrating your birthday today, and one of our community leaders right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island, the former president of the Maryland Association, Madam Agnes Bob. Today is a birthday, so and all of those that are celebrating their birthday, we say it's
today now your birthday. Now the day where you come to join the people, we be don't stay for this world before you come home. Anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take counsel. Now so everybody come in the world.
Kalona Tonga Wate, Ekona Yagana, Asaga Wito.